All right, hello. I'm going to go over how to complete your unit circle, assuming that you've already kind of reviewed it. I'm going to show you how to do it kind of all together in one flow. So the first thing I'm going to do is first I'm going to do it in radians, and then I'm going to do it in degrees. So I'm going to label my radians first. And here I am at 0 radians. If I go half a circle, I'm at pi. And if I go 2 complete circles, I'm at 2 pi. And again, just so you know, I'm also doing this in between 0 and 2 pi. I'm only going to label it as if I went around the circle once in a positive direction. So how we say that is we say this unit circle is for any theta between 0 and 2 pi. So again, you can go around backwards, you can go negative, you can go around more than 2 pi, but I'm only going to label it as if I went around 1. All right, so between here and here is 1 pi. If I were to go halfway between here and here, I'd be half a pi. Half a pi is pi over 2. Next, what I'm going to do down here. If I were to go halfway between 1 pi and 2 pi, I would be at 1.5 pi, right? 1 plus another half, or 3 halves. 1 half, 2 half, 3 halves. All right, now let's go by, let's do fourths. I'm just gonna highlight this into fourths. If I started here, this is so if this is a full pi, and we said this is half a pi, then half of a pi would be here, so that would be 1/4. And then halfway between half and a full pi would be 3/4. And then if I were to go down here again, you know, there's another half, and halfway to my half would be there. And then the other halfway to my half would be here. So all my yellows, I'm going to start counting in fourths. So I did 0. This is 1/4, pi over 4. 2 pi over 4, and here's 3/4 of a pi, or 3 pi over 4. Here's 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4/4 are a full pi. Here's 5/4. 5 pi over 4. Here is 6/4, which is the same as 3 halves. Here I've done 7/4. And there would be 8/4. All right, now I'm going to divide this into 6. Again, if I were to go all the way from here to here, it'd be 1 full pi. Now I want to divide that full pi into 6 equal pieces. And I'm going to do that with my orange, which you'll see all of these axes overlap in our colors. All right, so I've now taken that top half, which is 1 pi, and I've created 6 equal slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each one is 1/6 of a pi. So this is 1/6 of a pi. This is 2/6 of a pi, or 1/3. 2/6 is 1/3. So we call that pi over 3. Here would be 3/6, or 1/2. Here would be 4/6, or 2/3. 2 pi over 2 pi over 3. So I've done 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6. That would be 5/6. 5 pi over 6. And then that one I had 6/6, which is 1. And if I continue it out, 7/6, 8/6, 9/6, 10/6, and 11/6. So I said 5 pi, 6 pi over 6. This one was 7/6, 8/6, which is going to be 4/3, 4 pi over 3. 9/6 is 3 over 2. 10/6 is going to be 5/3. And then 11/6. If I go here, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've done 11/6. And if I go here, I've done 12/6, which is 2 full pies. All right, I got all my radians on. Awesome. Now I'm going to label degrees. So I'm going to just put the degrees like right next to it or right under it. So, you know, I like to think of this, if I jump off my snowboard, if I'm facing this and I jump off my snowboard, I have gone 0 degrees. If I were to jump off my snowboard and do a complete circle, we say I've done a 360. And again, we're going to do this unit circle just in between 0 degrees and 360 degrees. So we're just going to label as if I went around once. So let's say I jumped off and I did half. I was facing this way and I landed facing that way. You'd say I've done 180 degrees or a 180, right? Let's say I went from here to here. We should see that is a right angle, so that would be 90 degrees. All right, and so this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees to 180. If I do another 90 degrees, I'm going to be at 270 degrees. And then another 90 degrees is 360. 360 divided by 4 is 90. So each of these halves of a half of a pie is 90 degrees. Half a pie is 90 degrees. Half a pie is 90 degrees. I have 4 halves of pie in my 2 pie, or 360 degrees. All right, now let's look at the yellows again. So if I know from here to here is 90, what's halfway going to be? Well, it's going to be 45 degrees. All right, well, if that's 45 degrees, then that's 45 degrees, then that's 45 degrees. 190 plus 45 is going to get you 135 degrees. 135 plus 45 is going to get you 180. And then if I do another 45 degrees here, 180 plus 45, that will get you to 225 degrees. 225 plus 45 is going to be 270. And 270 plus 45 to here is going to get you to 315. And 315 plus another 45 is going to get you to 360. So there are all of our 45 degree segments. Now let's look at the oranges. So I said, if I'm looking at degrees, this whole top half is 180 degrees. And I said each of these orange segments is 1/6 of that. So what is 1/6 of 180? Well, 180 divided by 6 is going to be 30 degrees. So each of these orange segments is going to be worth 30 degrees. So my first one is 30 degrees. Now I have 2, so I'm at 60 degrees. Now I have 3, so I'm at 90 degrees. Then I've done another 30 degrees, so 90 plus 30 is going to be 120. Plus another 30 is going to get you to 150. Plus another 30 is going to be 180. Plus another 30 is going to be 210. Plus another 30 is going to get you to 240. Plus another 30 is going to be 270. Plus 30 will get you to 300. Plus 30 will get you to 330. Plus 30 will get you to 360 degrees. All right. Now I'm going to go through, I'm going to label my letters and my points. And I always start here with A. And I just label these alphabetically. C, D, E, F, I can draw an F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. If you remember, we skip O and P. So we go straight to Q. Sorry about that. So I go to Q, and then my last one is R. All right, and the last thing I'm going to do on this unit circle is I'm going to label the coordinates. Now, if you need to watch the video on how to find the coordinates, I recommend you watch that separately. You should know by this point at least how to find your coordinates of your first quadrant right here. In my first quadrant, I have that first. This, again, we said this is 30 degrees. If I were to create a right triangle, I'd have 90 degrees, which would make that 60 degrees. and I have so I have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Again, this should be review. I have a radius of 1. So in a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the short side is going to be half the radius. So my short side is across from 30 degrees. So I know that this is 1/2. And I know I've gone out here. It's going to be my long side. It's going to be 1/2 times rad 3, which is rad 3 over 2. So again, what is my coordinate here? Well, I've gone over to the right, rad 3 over 2, and I've gone up 1/2. Now, I want you to look at this. I'm going to underline this in orange. And I want you to notice that where's the next part where else is my x coordinate going to be rad 3 over 2? So right here is rad 3 over 2, which we say is about 0.87. So here's 1. So they love point. That's 1, 0. So here's 1. In fact, while I'm here, let me do this. This is 1, 0. This is 0, 1, right? So the left to right 0, up 1. Here I went to the left 1, up and down 0. And here I went left and right 0, but I went down 1. All right, so let me go here again. So where else can I say I've gone to the right 0.87, or more exact, rad 3 over 2? Well, boom, 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 right here at this spot. This spot is also going to have a coordinate of rad 3 over 2. Okay, now let me look at the y value. I said right here on the y axis was about, well, exactly 0.5 or 1/2. So where else have I gone 1/2 up? Where else is my y value going to be 1/2? Well, right here. If I had to write this coordinate, this would be 1/2. All right, let's think about this. So if this is going down 30 degrees, then that would be my right angle. That would be my 60 degrees. And I still have a hypotenuse of 1, which means my short side has to be 1/2, and my long side is to be rad 3 over 2. So I know this distance is also 1/2. But this time I'm going down. So I would say I've gone, the coordinate's going to be to the right, rad 3 over 2, and down 1/2. There you go, light. All right, over here, where else can I say I've gone down 1/2? Well, right here, it's going to be that same place on the y-axis at -1/2. I'm going to have something common -1/2. If I'm looking here again, try to draw this, I know that's 30 degrees because between 180 and 210 is 30. If I create that right angle, that makes that 60 degrees. That is a length of 1, which means my short side has to be half of that, and my long side has to be that times rad 3. So you can see I'm getting that same circle. So I've gone down 1/2 and to the left rad 3 over 2, which makes that a negative rad 3 over 2. And then if I'm looking at this point right here, where else have I gone negative rad 3 over 2? Well, right here. So I want you just to take a second and look at these points that I'm just highlighting right now in orange, or underlining in orange. They are all rad 3 over 2, 1/2. And look at the radians that they all go with. Every single radian spot that's over 6 on my unit circle has the coordinates rad 3 over 2, 1/2. They all have the long way is the x coordinate. They go the furthest left and right, and then they go the least amount up and down. So they have their short leg is 1/2. So again, you should notice that all the ones over a radian of 6 all have the same. What do I need to know? Well, as soon as I figured out that this was pi over 6 was rad 3 over 2, 1/2, I could go ahead and write that in over all of my ones that are over 6. I just need to know the signs. Are they positive or negative? Well, that's where it helps me to know over here in quadrant 1, I've gone to the right and up. So my x is positive and my y is positive. Over here in this coordinate, or sorry, in this quadrant, I've gone to the left, which makes x negative, and then I've gone up, which makes y positive. Over here in quadrant 3, I've gone to the left, negative x, and I've gone down, negative y. Over here, quadrant 4, I've gone to the right, positive x, and I go down, negative y. All right, let's see what I can do next. So next I'm going to label my spot here for pi over 4. Again, you should review. This, again, is 45 degrees. So I just created a 45, 90 triangle, which, or sorry, 45, 90, which tells you that this also has to be 45. That tells you that this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle, special right triangle with a hypotenuse of 1. And so if this is 1, mathematically, algebraically, each of these sides has to be rad 2 over 2. And if you're not sure why, I recommend going to watch the other video on how to find these coordinates. So I know I've gone to the right, rad 2 over 2, which we said is about 0.71. I've also gone up, rad 2 over 2, which is about 0.71. So my coordinate's going to be rad 2 over 2, comma, rad 2 over 2. And I want you to notice, underline these in yellow, everything with a 4 is going to have the same distance in their coordinates. They are all going to be rad 2 over 2, comma, rad 2 over 2. They'll just have different signs. So over here I have negative rad 2 over 2, comma, positive rad 2 over 2. Down here I'm going to have, they're both going to be negative down here. So I'll have negative rad 2 over 2, comma, negative rad 2 over 2. And over here, I'm going to have positive rad 2 over 2, comma, negative rad 2 over 2. Cool. All my ones with 4 are going to have rad 2 over 2, comma, rad 2 over 2. Now I'm going to look at my thirds. So to draw that right angle, I know this is 60 degrees. This is 60 degrees, which means this is 30, this is 60, and that's 90. My hypotenuse is still 1. So I know my short length of this triangle is 1/2, which means I went to the right 1/2. And I know my long length of this triangle is rad 3 over 2. I went up rad 3 over 2. So I went over 0.5 and I went up about 0.87. All right, well, I'm going to make all of these green. Everything with a 3 under it is green, because they're all equal distance from each axis, the y and the x. So they're all going to be 1/2, comma, rad 3 over 2. I just need to know the sign. So over here I went negative 1/2, comma, rad 3 over 2. Down here I went negative 1/2, comma, negative rad 3 over 2. And over here I went to the right 1/2, and then I went down rad 3 over 2. All right, that is your unit circle. I'll go ahead and highlight all of these 3 coordinates down here in green, and you should be able to complete this. I recommend you complete a blank unit circle right now on your own and try to see if you can get it. If not, I recommend you watch this again.